What's up, everybody? Jack here at the Mindful Homestead. It's afternoon chore time, so let's go do some of these chores. All right, let's go get those guys their afternoon feed. Whenever somebody gets pigs, one of the first questions they always kind of ask, at least I know we did last year, was how much are they supposed to eat? And that answer depends primarily on what kind of pig you've gone with on your homestead. You guys want your snack? You can see behind me the tarp shelter that we built for the pigs. We ran into a little bit of an issue with sunburn, being that our pigs are very fair-skinned. They sunburned in the first couple days that we had them. They didn't know how to use the pig hut. I actually cut out a huge opening on the front of it, hoping they would go into it, and they still didn't. So I set up this tarp with some ratchet straps, just hoping that they would hang out under it. And they did. So their sunburn is on the mend. Just one of the issues you have to deal with when you're using pink pigs. If you had a heritage breed hog that had a darker skin color, red or brown, this isn't something you'd have to worry about. But for pink pigs, it is something you got to worry about. So breed is important when we're talking about how much pigs eat for a couple reasons. And one of those reasons is that a lot of breeds have had the overeating gene bred out of them over the years. Especially a lot of the more modern pigs that you see out there. These are Yorkshire pigs. Yorkshires are the pigs that you're going to see a lot of commercial operations running. In a commercial operation, essentially you want to have food down all the time. So if a pig overeats, it's not going to be good. You're also going to see the overeating gene pop up a lot when you get into what are known as lard breeds of pigs. That's going to be something like your American guinea hog, your Mangalitsa. A lot of the pig breeds that have been bred for fat production, specifically for rendering the lard out of them, while you can certainly eat the meat that comes from a lard pig, those pigs are optimized to take the food that they eat and turn it into lard. And part of that tends to go along with the notion that they're going to keep eating regardless of whether or not they're hungry, regardless of whether or not they've already eaten. So a lot of the lard pig breeds that you see out there are going to be overeaters, and you need to pay attention to how much you're feeding them per day. But a lot of what we call the bacon pigs out there, your Yorkshires, your Berkshires, your Hampshires, things like that, they tend to eat until they're full, and then they'll stop eating. Bless you. With all of that said, though, there are still reasons that you would want to not necessarily put down a bunch of food for your piglets when you first get them home. One of the reasons why you want to bring the food out to your pigs when you first get them is because it makes it really easy to bucket train those pigs. And for anybody that's ever dealt with a pig that's gotten out of its pen, bucket training is a lifesaver. By bringing a bucket of food out to those pigs every day, those pigs are going to recognize you as the bringer of food for them. Essentially, a person that's a good thing. Versus when you bring home piglets at first, they can be very kind of afraid of you, skeptical of you. I don't want to use the term afraid, but they're definitely skeptical of you the first time you bring a pig home. Bringing that food out to them daily forms a bond of trust and trains them to that bucket so that they say, oh, that's the guy with the bucket. He brings me food. He brings me things I like. For us, though, once we get the pigs bucket trained and they know that we're the ones bringing the food out to them, we like to just give them food and let them have food, free choice. We have a feeder that'll hold like 300 pounds of food, so it's nice to be able to put food in there. And then we maintain the bucket training by bringing them treats from the kitchen, whether it's vegetable scraps from the garden or leftover food that we have. We don't feed our pigs any meat, but as far as any leftover breads or vegetables or starches or grains or things like that, they can get that just fine. So if you are going to be giving the pigs food and you are going to be delivering it to them to get that bucket training underway, how much should you be giving them? There are a bunch of different schools of thought on this. If you go to 5 different people and ask them how much food should I feed my pigs, you're going to get 5 different answers from those people about what the daily intake of food should be. You'll get answers ranging from 4% of the pig's weight per day. If you've ever tried to catch a squirming piglet, get it on a scale, you're going to realize it's pretty hard. X amount of pounds per month, and then based on the weight gain of the pig, you should, alter or adjust. You'll hear some really simple sounding ones that say as much food as the pigs can eat in 20 minutes in the morning, and then again in about 20 minutes in the evening. And that sounds all well and good, but you've still got to find a benchmark as to how much food to put out to see how much they're going to be able to eat. So you can either start them at a certain level, or it's just kind of confusing to do things with the 20-minute rule. So we have a rule of thumb that we heard at one point last year when we got our first pigs, and we followed it last year and it worked out just fine for us. And that is 1 pound of food per month of age of the pig per day. And for our little pigs, being that they are 2 months old when we got them, 8 weeks, that equated to 2 pounds of pig food a day per pig. So 12 pounds is what we're going through. What that's equated to for us is about a bag of food every 4 days. 12 pounds a day, 4 times 12 is 48 pounds. Comes in 50-pound bags. So we've just been giving the 12 pounds in the morning and kind of supplementing a little bit in the afternoon with a snack, again, just to reinforce that bucket training. They see me in the afternoon coming out with a bucket of food. The other thing I've been doing since the pigs are new is I've been wetting that food down every morning when I give it to them, and then I'm not wetting it in the afternoons. The idea being that over the course of the day, when it's really hot outside, which it has been, it's been like 80 degrees for the last 4 or 5 days up here in New Hampshire, which is unseasonably warm. It makes it a little bit easier for the pigs to digest. I'm not fermenting it, but I am wetting it down. It just makes it a little bit more palatable for them. It's a little bit more interesting. And then getting the crunchy food in the afternoon and then the wet food in the morning, it breaks things up a little bit for them. We feed poulin feeds in general. Sometimes we'll go to other pig feeds if for some reason we can't get the poulin. But by and large, poulin is what our pigs eat. We don't have any affiliation with them. I don't get paid to say that or anything like that. We don't get paid for anything, really. We pay for food. But I've just found they're a New England company. They have a mill over Vermont, and their food has just been good for us. So this is what we go. We go with the piglet until they are about 80 pounds, and then we switch over to the grower finisher. So that's pretty much our mentality on how we feed our pigs. Again, like I mentioned, there's a lot of different ways that people feed their pigs, and for us, we found 1 pound a day per month of age up to 6 months. You're not going to really want to go above 6 pounds of feed a day for your pigs. If I didn't mention that before, that's why you should be watching to the end of the video so you can see me correct my own mistakes. But yeah, it worked out just fine for us last year. We had our 3 pigs. They hung at 180, just under 200, and the male hung at 230, which is headless, footless, skinless, and gutless. So a little bit lower than some other weights out there, but the growth that we had was just fine. They were happy, they were healthy, the meat on them was delicious. So that's the method we're going to be going with again on these pigs this year, is just 1 pound per month of age up to 6 months. And then once we hit 6 months, we'll cap it at 6 pounds per pig per day. And then we will supplement with apples and pumpkins and other things come fall time that we can find for free on Craigslist. If you have any questions on feeding your own pigs at home, put them in the comments down below and I'll answer them as best we can. If I don't have the answer, because we are new to this whole thing, I will get a hold of somebody who can. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.